At 24 years old, Naomi walked into Louisiana's newest and hottest casino hotel with quiet determination and a knot in her stomach. Hired as a Players Club hotel front desk clerk, she felt out of place the moment she saw her co-workers. They were dazzling, dressed in brand names, dripping in flashy jewelry, their laughter loud and confident, like they had already won the room. Naomi, on the other hand, wore a clean t-shirt, simple jeans, and fresh dreads that framed her face. No glittering accessories that seductive flair, just quiet eyes, and a heart carrying more responsibility than she let on. At home was her 6-year-old son, her anchor, her reason for walking through doors that terrified her. She had slipped 10 years of accounting experience onto her resume, but she didn't brag about it. She didn't brag about anything. The truth was, Naomi had worked in less glamorous hotels than the women beside her. She had never worked in a casino hotel before, and part of her wanted to turn and run. But numbers. Numbers had always been her gift. She could read them, catch them midair, bend them into order when chaos reigned. That was the piece of herself she clung to when doubt whispered that she didn't belong. The week before the casino opened, all the clerks were summoned to the top floor, a place no entry-level staff had ever been. There, they would learn the hotel's brand-new operating system. The room buzzed with chatter and competition, but one voice rose above the rest, Brittany. "I worked at the W," Brittany announced, her tone dripping with superiority. "I was the shining star." She regaled everyone with stories of catering to celebrities, making it sound like this job was hers for the taking. Naomi stayed silent, shrinking further into the background. The system, however, turned out to be a beast, outdated, demanding clerks to do the bulk of the work themselves. By lunch, everyone was frustrated. One girl whispered she might quit. Brittany's confidence wavered, though she masked it with more bravado. Naomi, however, was calm. She had seen something like this before. Her fingers remembered the rhythm. When the instructor fired off a particularly difficult question, silence swallowed the room. Heads bowed, eyes averted, until a soft voice spoke from the back. 34. The instructor blinked, surprised. Naomi rose to her feet, repeating her answer with quiet certainty. "Correct." The room gasped as Brittany's smug smile faltered. And just like that, the underdog nobody noticed began to shine. For the rest of the day, Naomi answered every question thrown her way. Numbers danced, and she caught them with ease. By the end of class, she wasn't just keeping up, she was teaching. Supervisors, administrators, even executives gathered around as Naomi explained the system they themselves were struggling to master. Over the next 2 days, Naomi's desk was relocated from the classroom to the boardroom. She trained top managers and the casino owner himself. Her quiet voice, now the guiding light of the entire hotel's operations. She didn't gloat, she didn't brag. She simply worked early mornings, late nights, grit in her veins and fire in her heart. On the 4th day, the clerks arrived to find the classroom locked. A note directed them down the hall to the conference room, the very place Naomi had been working. They filed in nervously, unsure what awaited them. At the head of the room stood Lisa, the top hotel manager, folders stacked neatly on the polished oak table. Lisa's voice was steady, but the room's silence was sharp enough to cut. "We've made our decision," she said. "A front desk manager has been chosen." This individual stood out both on paper and in practice. Brittany's smile widened. She straightened her posture, already savoring victory. "Please, open your folders." Naomi's hands trembled as she unfolded the crisp papers inside. Her breath caught in her throat. "Manager." The word shimmered on the page. Her. It was her. Brittany's voice cracked through the room. "What? Seriously? Who got manager?" All eyes turned. Not toward Brittany. Toward Naomi. Lisa continued, her tone warm now. Naomi showed drive, memory, grit, and most of all, passion. She stayed late, came early, and taught what none of us could. She is the new front desk manager. Brittany stormed out, her arrogance crumbling. The other clerks looked at Naomi with new respect. And Naomi, this quiet, modest young mother from Louisiana, lifted her head, no longer afraid of not fitting in. Not only was Naomi named manager, but the casino awarded her a wardrobe allowance as part of her acceptance bonus. She could finally trade her jeans and tees for business suits, not because clothes defined her worth, but because she had earned the right to walk in any room with confidence. The girl overlooked for her modesty had risen above the flash. The woman counted out for her quiet voice had let the numbers speak for her. Naomi's story became a lesson to all. You don't need to shine the loudest to rise the highest. Sometimes, belief in yourself is louder than any label, and passion will outlast performance. This is how a young woman, armed with nothing but numbers, grit, and the love of a son waiting at home, turned doubt into destiny and became the face of leadership no one saw coming.
If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more from us, click the like and subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are on so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.